Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan man al zaman. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time. This series is basically series with regards to Sarf. And so understanding Sarf, all of you guys who are interested in learning about Sarf, I am trying to make it as easy as I can for you guys to be able to grasp the ideas and the concepts. The main thing in this series, before I actually go on, if you guys have no idea what my channel is about, check out my channel, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, share it with your contacts, inshallah. So you guys get all the reward as well, I get the reward as well. Right, so this series, we are going through verbs, how to conjugate verbs. So at the moment, we have reached up to Naqis now. This is what we did last lesson, right? So today we are actually going to be going through these verbs, okay? So with regards to the verbs, now if I was to, see, I don't want to spend too much time on verbs now because I think you guys get the idea. And let me know in the comments as well. So if I was to just write down, fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, right over here. So this is basically wow. This is basically ya. So you draw a line there, and then you've got like fa'ala, 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 fa'alu, fa'alat. Yeah. Fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat. Fa'alata, fa'alna, fa'alta. I know it's quite long-winded. Fa'altuma, fa'altum, fa'alti, fa'altuma, fa'altu, fa'altunna, sorry, fa'altu, fa'alna. Right, so these are 14. Should be 14 anyway. And so what we want to try to work out is that if we have this pen is a bit dying as well. Okay, so we're trying to work out that if you have the verbs, how do you work these verbs out? So Naqis is a bit different from the previous ones. So let's start off, for example, with jatha. So it's originally supposed to be jathawa. Okay, jathawa. Jathawa actually changes into the rule basically is that if you have a waw and preceding it is a fatha, preceding it, you change the waw into an alif, right? So ja, tha, I'm going to write like this. The alif I'm going to write like this. Jatha. Okay? So that's basically the first rule. Remember that rule list that we had before? So if you have a waw or a ya and preceding it is a fatha, you change it into, we did this in Naqis as well. Ajwaf, we did in Ajwaf. Alright, so over there this happens. Second one, so this one's supposed to be ja, tha, wa. Ja, tha, wa. Okay, again, same thing happened over here. You got waw. You've got the tha over here, right? So you got the waw and you got the. So over here, what happens is this is going to be changed into an alif, right? So you're going to have jatha. So over here, what's going to happen is you're actually going to change the waw into an alif, but there's actually an exemption rule over here. The exemption rule basically is that you don't apply it before, if you get the waw before an alif of dual. So this is a dual alif 2. So what's going to happen over here is that jatha, right, jatha, and then you're going to say jatha ya. Yeah, sorry. I mean, what did I say? What did I say? Yeah, it's wow. It's wow there, isn't it? So, okay. So it's going to become jatha, jathawa. Right? So there is a waw and it's preceded by a fatha. So it should turn into an alif, but because it appears before a dual alif, the rule becomes cancelled out. So jathawa. Okay, jathawa. So in other words, there is no real ta'leel that takes place over here. Okay, the next one. So the next one is plural. So fa'alu is supposed to be Woo. Right, jathawu. So what are we going to do over here? So we are going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing over here. So over here, we're going to change this waw into, because it appears before it appears fatha, we're going to change this into an alif. So jathaw. Now, because you can't pronounce that, because you can't say jathaw, because there's two sakins that have merged together, you're gonna delete the one alif. So jathaw. So jathawa, jathaw. All right, you with me? Understanding it so far? Okay, right. Next one is going to be fa'alat. So it's supposed to be jathawat. Jathawat. Again, waw appears before there's a fatha, so we have to change it into alif. So we're going to have jathat. Right, two sakins there. Because you have two sakins there, we got to get rid of this alif. So jathat. Right, jathat. Okay. Next, fa'alata. So this would be jathawata. Jathawata. Again, what's happened? You got a waw and you proceeded by fatha, so you change this into an alif. So it becomes jatha. Right, so far with me? Right. Now what we do over here is another rule over here. And that other rule basically is that that if you have this alif that appears before a feminine ta, so you got feminine ta over here. Right, so you got this over here. You have to remove the alif as well. So there's no ijtima sakinain, no sakins coming together, but you have to remove this alif because it appears before the feminine ta. Okay, so jatha, jathaw, jatha, jatha, jathaw, jatha, jathawa, jathaw, jathat, jathata. Okay, now the rest of them are all going to be without ta'leel. So jathawna, jathawna. Right, no ta'leel required. Jathawna, jathawta, jathawta, jathawtuma. Tuma supposed to be tuma there. Jathawtuma. And then all the way down. Jathawtuma, jathawtum, jathawti, jathawtuma, jathawtunna, jathawtu, jathawna. So in other words, even though you have a waw over here, that waw is not mutaharrik. It's not a mutaharrik waw. So therefore, the rule above doesn't apply. Jathaw, sakin. Right, so this rule does not apply to a sakin waw. Applies to a this kind of a waw. Okay, so this is the jat. So what are the rules that we've learned so far? So we've learned basically the if you remember, I had this list before, right? The change to an alif rule. Yeah, so change to an alif rule. That's also something which is found over here. So change to an alif. Yeah, so change to alif. That's one. Number two is the change to an alif rule does not work in a dual, right? So over here, this rule is except. Yeah, times 2. Doesn't apply times 2. So there. And then jathaw, over here you have change to an alif and you have 2 sakin rule. Yeah, so 2 sakin rule over there. Actually it's supposed to go down there, isn't it? I'll do there. 2 sakin rule. And then you got jathawat. Right? So again, 2 sakin rule over there. Same thing over there. And over here, the alif is removed because it appears before alif, before ta, feminine. Okay, and there you have it. That's it basically. That's the rule that we have for this. Now this can be applied to the ya situation as well. So if we try it to the ya situation, right, hopefully it should make sense over there. So, okay, let's use the rama, right? So we're going to use the rama one over here, see if we can apply it there. So originally, right, it should be ramaya. And so what changes are going to take place over here? So you got ramaya. Ramaya is going to become, you got a ya before it fatha, so you change to an alif. So rama. Okay, fine, it's done. Okay, ramaya. No change there. Okay, so we'll just tick there. Ramaya, no change because of the tathniya. Then ramayu. Okay, so what happens over here? Over here, we're going to have the change taking place in the alif. So Ra-ma-wu. Yep. This is going to happen. So you got alif 2 seconds. Remove the 1. So ramo, like jathaw. And then you got ra-ma-yat. Ramayat becomes, so remember you got the ya over there, it's turned to an alif. Ramat, right? And the alif can't exist, so ramat, 2 seconds. And then finally you've got ramayata. Yeah, so ramayata. Okay, so ramayata. So you got ya there. And the ya has been preceded by fatha. So ra ma ta. Yeah. So actually you got to get rid of this alif because it appears before a ta'nith. So ramata. Rama, ramaya, ramau, ramat, ramata. And then ramayna. Ramayna. Ramayta. Nothing there. Ramayta. Ramaytuma. Ramaytum. Ramayti. Ramaytuma. Ramaytunna. Ramaytu. Ramayna. Okay, so the same rules apply over here. Now, very kind of straightforward. It's a bit tricky at the beginning, but then you get used to it. Then you get the idea of it. You can apply the same rule to these ones. I don't know if I should write these ones out. So da'a, for example, like, so you got da'a, so it's going to be the same thing. Da'a is going to originally be da'awa, and then it becomes da'a. Da'awa, same. And then da'awu, da'u. Da'awat, da'at. Da'awata. Da'ata, da'aut, da'auna, da'auta, da'autuma, da'autum, da'auti, da'autuma, da'autunna, da'autu, da'auna. Same thing with this. And kana, yeah? So kanaya, so over here, kanaya, kanayu. So it's going to be kana, kanaya, kano, kanat, kanata, kanaina, kanaita, kanaituma, kanaitum. Yeah, now radiya is a bit different, so I'm going to leave that for next week. We'll do radiya next week. Don't have to do those. Khashia is going to be with radiya. Sa'a is basically the same as rama. Yeah, so sa'a Sa'aya, sa'aw, sa'at, sa'ata, sa'ayna, sa'aytum, sa'aytum, all the way to the end. Right. So once we've got that, next week all we have to do is radiya, rakhuwa is really nothing there. And then these, and then we finished inshallah. So hopefully 2 more lessons and Naqis hopefully should be done. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Right, so let's have a look in the Quran then. Let me just grab the Quran. Okay, so let's have a look over here. Okay, so the tricky thing is trying to find in the Quran easy examples. So okay, let's see. Check out Surah Yusuf. Surah Yusuf usually has some nice examples in here. Alright, so okay, so let's look at Surah Nuh. Surah Nuh has one over here. So Surah Nuh, to find it. Surah Nuh. Okay, so he says Da'awtu qala rabbi inni da'awtu qawmi. Da'awtu, so da'awtu, yeah, originally would have been like this over here. Yeah. So da'awtu, right? So no change over here, meaning there's no ta'leel taking place. I mean, I can't really find any other examples in this topic. But if you guys can find any, put in the comments inshallah. Next week inshallah I'll try to do our list. Even if I can't find them from many Quran examples, I'll try to bring my own examples inshallah. So jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. And thank you very much to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you guys want to support my channel and you want to help me make work like this projects, then please check out the description below. Jazakumullah khair. Take care inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.